I think it will have a huge impact on the rest of the region. And this is a very important, strategically very important region for the U.S. and Bahrain specifically. They have the base and the headquarters of the Fifth Fleet, U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. And they consider Bahrain as a front line fighting the Iranian influence in the region as well. So if they look, always they see the Iranian shadow in Bahrain. And we have to remember that Iran was claiming Bahrain since 1952 until 1971 officially. And this claim has renewed many times in the last few years. So for the U.S., they look at it strategic question rather than just a simple protest. I think the U.S. will regret the human casualties, the loss of life, and will ask both sides to restrain. I don't think the U.S. will come beside the opposition movement and this sort of protest. I find it very difficult because if the attitude of the U.S. is going to support the protester as happened in Egypt, this is going to open the floodgate in the whole region.
And we understand as well that the US doesn't actually have an ambassador in the country. That's going to make it quite difficult for them to gather intelligence to be able to react, isn't it?
Actually, they have one of the major intelligence centers in the Fifth Fleet Command. So they have the structure, intelligence structure, not necessarily in the diplomatic side, but definitely on the military side.
And you mentioned at the end there as well the reaction across the rest of the Gulf region. What do you think other governments and other heads of state will be thinking at this time?
I think they will come in support of the Bahraini government because, as I said, how they look at the region as an opposition movement, have a sectarian demand, try to push their demand and taking advantage. So I don't think they will, any government here will allow such event to basically force the government for major concession. It's going to be a major problem if the king gives major concession under such pressure.